Good morning. We're here in Davos 2022 with Tanja Havemann, who's founder and CEO of Clarmondial, and also the Food Securities Fund. Tanja, could you tell us a bit about what the role of these entities are in ESG and finance?
Yes, so thank you very much for having me. Clarmondial is an investment advisory company that's focused on mobilizing private capital primarily for sustainable natural resource management. And we have the great pleasure of working with large corporates, with institutional investors, family offices, and also development finance institutions to get more money into actually managing our lands, our oceans, our biodiversity, our climate, and also local communities in a better way. So very concretely, that means that we work on structuring and bringing to market new innovative investment solutions. So for example, we supported the Food Securities Fund, which is a blended finance fund for agricultural value chains, and also working with partners and clients to do direct transactions, for example, in sustainable sourcing in emerging markets.
Great. So actually, could you give us, again, like a couple of examples of the work you do? So maybe one on the public sector side and one on the private sector side to show the scope between the two.
Yep, so on the private sector side, we helped to put together a innovative credit fund called the Food Securities Fund, which is an Article 9 SFDR Article 9 fund, and that fund is able to attract investors such as ASN impact investors, the Global Environment Facility, to actually drive more capital into sustainable agricultural value chains and support sustainable sourcing. So that fund has already impacted the lives of around 40,000 smallholder farmers on around 50,000 hectares of land. And then we've also worked with some large corporates, so for example, listed companies like Nestlé Nespresso, on supporting them to actually bring more funding into some of the communities that they source from in places like the DRC and also Uganda. So we feel very fortunate to work on such impactful projects.
Excellent. And can you tell us a bit more of Clarmondial in terms of its overall strategy? Is the idea to do good or to be profitable?
Both, and I think that's important. So I've been in the environmental finance space for about 20 years. I've seen the interest sort of rise and wane, especially on the carbon finance space. I truly think that with the new regulations and also increasing interest both from retail investors and institutional investors and the commitments from corporates, for example, on the Science-Based Targets Initiative, that it's an opportunity to actually do well by doing good, and we're living that every day.